San Francisco supervisor Hillary Ronan introduced legislation she says would strengthen tenant protections today. A city ordinance would prevent landlords from using rent increases to sidestep evictions, regulations, and force tenants out of their homes. KPFA's Corey Suzuki reports.
San Francisco law prevents landlords from evicting tenants without just cause. The city also has rent control in place for the majority of tenants, meaning landlords can't raise rents more than a small amount each year. But tenant attorney Joseph Tobener says some landlords are using rent increases on single-family houses and condominiums to force tenants to leave without evicting them.
The typical case is a landlord that increases the rent way above market rate to force a tenant out because the landlord wants to do an owner move-in eviction or go out of the rental business. So it's a rent increase not to collect rent, but a rent increase to force the tenant out. And that's what we take issue with.
Tobener says his firm represents 100 of these cases where landlords have tried to circumvent eviction protections each year. San Francisco supervisor Hillary Ronan says landlords will actually modify units to claim them as single-family, which are exempt from rent control under state law. She says her ordinance would close that loophole by making it illegal for landlords to raise rents with the intent of forcing tenants to leave.
I am closing that loophole in the law by introducing legislation today that will say that it is illegal to, in bad faith, raise the rent so high with the real intention of evicting a tenant and not just having a rent increase based on their rights to increase the rent.
Tommy Mecca, the counseling director for the Housing Rights Committee of San Francisco, welcomes the ordinance.
This is a problem, of course, that we see all the time, that, rents get raised in single-family homes and it forces people to move out. So it's really great to see that one of the supervisors, who happens to be a friend of the tenant community, she's tackling this, the problem and trying to address it. And so we're very excited to see that she's trying to address this very serious problem.
The ordinance will need a majority vote from the San Francisco Board of Supervisors to be approved. From San Francisco, I'm Corey Suzuki for KPFA News.